Chattisfying.
Right, well, shall we move on then to segment 2?
Yeah, go for it.
What's happening in segment 2, sir?
Right, so segment 2, we're going to talk about our stream topic today. The topic is all about basically what game you should stream, essentially, and our sort of thoughts on it, any advice that you feel might be relevant to, I don't know, a newbie, that kind of thing. All the fun stuff. And it's a very broad topic. It's kind of supposed to be. We'll each give our own opinion on it, and then we, if we disagree, we'll counterpoint after each of us has sort of had our say. I'd like to offer, as we always do, to have the guests speak first. Do you want to go first on what your thoughts?
I should go first. Yeah.
All right, go ahead then. Talk to us about what game to stream.
I think that it's an easy question. It's like, just play. I mean, the first thing that comes to my head when someone's asked, like, if someone's coming to chat and they're like, "Hey, I want to become a streamer. What do I play?" It's like the easiest question. The easiest answer is like, play what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, don't play something that you don't want to play, or don't play something that you think. Like, there definitely are people that play games, you know, in the sole intention of getting views for it. I was saying this earlier because I seen the stream, the topic, and I was like, okay, I need to think about something that I want to say about it. I had a really good analogy. You ever seen the 2004 movie Mean Girls?
Yes.
Heard of it, but
I mean, yes.
Maybe. When Katie's going to lunch, and what's her name? Is it Gretchen? She's telling her where everyone sits. Like, you know, the jocks, and you got the goths, and you got the plastics, all that sort of stuff. Twitch is the same way.
Right.
You got your speedrunners, you got your hot tubbers, your variety streamers, and you got the people that play the same game. You know, there's certain things that there's a certain Twitch meta. I think there's certain like categories everyone fits into, and I think that for growth, speedrunning goes well. A lot of people, you know, grow really fast at speedrunning.
Excuse the pun.
You can speed on Twitch. It's fine. There's a lot of people that play the Jackbox, like very community oriented streams and games. Like that goes fast. If you're hot tubber, that goes
well, that
fast.
also causes another type of growth. So
it's true. That's exactly it. But I think it's one of those things where if someone's coming in to stream and they're like, "Hey, I want to get on Twitch. I want to be famous," and that, it's like, well, don't expect it off the bat, and it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna happen. Then realistically, I'm not trying to crush your dreams. It's not gonna happen straight away. I think people think as soon as they go live, thousands and thousands of people are gonna watch. It's like, no.
I still think the best ones are the ones that go live and think that not talking to anyone or doing anything is still going to make them famous.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Minimal effort, maximum
or going to make me like super big Jeff Bezos bucks. It's like, no. I'd say my biggest advice is play what you want to play, what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because if you enjoy the game you're playing and you're having fun, people will see that and people will like that.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm is infectious, though, isn't it? That's the whole thing.
If it's a multiplayer game, you know, you can get people involved. You want to? It's just, you know, it's super good. People, you know, want to come back because they enjoy playing with you. You know, kind of like when you meet people online. You know, like for Xbox Live, you know, party members, and they're, you know, not aside from telling them, you know, telling you that they're fucking your mum, and you know, over the mic as an 8-year-old child. You know, actually want to hang out with them and sort of just get to know them better. I think it's a lot of my friends that I've grown up with have been people that I met online. So it's one of those things where Twitch is the same way, where you just meet people and you have a good time. So if you play the game you enjoy, you know, I think that if you're dead set on, like, you know, trying to get famous, like, there is a way of doing it. You just sit and you play the games that are most popular, the newest releases. But how many people can sort of keep up with the new releases? Like, new releases change week to week. You know, it's like you see people shift and shift and shift. Like, it's like, oh, we're playing Among Us, they were playing Valheim, they were playing, you know, Detroit Become Human because it's new or whatever. You're playing this next game. It's like not everyone can buy, you know, brand new games.
That's going to cost you a fortune, isn't it?
Exactly. That? So you can't. You know, it's not a plausible way of doing it. Bigger streamers get away with it.
Because they got a lot of money.
You got a lot of money, yeah. What about Bezos bucks?
They probably get the games for free as well, don't they? Probably.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of people get their keys gifted to them as well. But it's one of those things as well where you just sort of, you've got to play what you enjoy. You got to have fun. If you want to sit and play Just Dance 3 because it's on the Kinect and you have it on the shelf behind you, then you can play Just Dance 3 because it's on the shelf behind you.
Please tell me you have that.
Yeah, sitting right there.
I love it. I so can't wait to see that stream.
At some point, I hope to stream every single game that's on that shelf, and
Yeah.
eventually, it's getting rough around that area where it's.
It's going to take you an entire lifetime. You realize, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be like 50. I'll still be doing it.
We'll be 75. It's okay.
Final Fantasy 7 will still come out. Remake Part 2 will just come out. But no, I definitely think that's my sort of take on it. Like, play what you enjoy. Don't be worried about your skill at games. Like, I'm terrible at games.
Yeah.
I still play them. I play them because they're fun. Like, I'm not some kind of MLG pro. You don't have to play on the hardest difficulty to get people's attention. Like, if you're just having a good time, then you have a good time. I think that's where I'll leave my point. Where it's just to summarize, just play what you enjoy, take it easy, and don't try to get onto a train where you can't sort of keep up with it if you really want to do that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is a very complicated question, because it really depends on what you want out of Twitch, to what game like that would be ideal and all this kind of thing. And really, like you say, what you really want to be doing is playing what you want to play. But if you're going into Twitch and what you're looking for is growth, then you're really not going to find any if the game that you want to play is Fortnite or COD or you know, all these games. What's the words? These highly saturated games that there are a lot of people watching, but they're all watching the big streamers, and you're going to have to scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down to get to your stream.
Realistically, nobody
does that.
No, yeah,
nobody does
as much as you sort of want to say like, oh yeah, we could be. It's like nobody's going to do it. Sorry, but that's that.
At the end of the day, like, because the way that I see streaming does it, absolutely, you should like for if what you're doing is you're streaming for fun, which is what I think the three of us do. And growth is kind of in the back of our minds, but it's very much a like secondary, tertiary kind of worry. Is absolutely play a game that you want to play. Obviously try and stay away from the games that are going to be really shit for your community, because that's the thing that I've noticed as well. Like when you first start, you can basically play whatever you like, but as you get more and more of a community, you kind of get to more of the thing where like, is my community going to like this? And it actually restricts you a little bit, because there might be a game that maybe you might want to play, but you're like, no, the community is definitely not going to like that. And you're like, there's kind of no point me playing it, because as much fun as I might have with it, they're not going to like it. They're probably not going to hang out. And really, I'm just sort of, the whole point is, you know, I want to hang out with my community, and they might not turn up if I play this game that they won't like. So it kind of, in a way, actually having more people to watch you makes it more difficult to choose what game to play. In a way, not complaining by any means, by the way. It's kind of nice to be in that situation. But yeah, like if what you're looking for is growth, then you've got to be really careful about what you play. But then the problem is, if you end up playing a game that you don't like, that's like the worst thing that you can do. Because as soon as you start playing a game that you don't really like, it's so obvious that you don't like it. Like almost no one can hide that. And it will turn people off. Like even if they don't really realize what's going on, it'll be in the back of their mind. It'll be subconscious for them. They're like, I'm not really enjoying this stream. I don't really know why, but it's because you're not enjoying the game. But at the end of the day, I kind of like the game. I think is somewhat secondary to a stream, because a stream's a show, right? That's the whole point. The main thing, I guess, of the stream is you and the things that you do. Like all the other things that you could do, like I don't know, like giveaways and chatting about just random crap. That's the main draw. So the game is kind of secondary, but it kind of has to be there. I mean, you can do just chatting streams, but they're a different bag entirely, aren't they? It's nice to have that anchor with the game. So at the end of the day, I mean, I've really found success, and when I say success, I've really enjoyed what I've been doing fairly recently over the last sort of year-ish, and that is getting a short list of games that I think I'll probably enjoy, that also I think that the community are likely to enjoy, and then asking the community to vote which one they'd most like to see, because then I feel like everyone wins, because we get a game that I'm probably going to enjoy because I've chosen the list, but then the community gets what they're most likely to enjoy because they've chosen that game out of the list, if you see what I mean.
So I understand what you mean, yeah.
It's kind of a way to sort of keep everyone happy. I think that's a great way. I think that's a great way of choosing. But when there's no one, when you're literally like just started, you've just got to choose a game that you want to play at the end of the day.
It's really hard not to sort of come in and tell you like, oh yeah, this is how I think about it. But it's like, we say it at the end, it's like so hard not to tell you. It's like I've got things to say to you, but I can't say it right now.
But write it down and we'll go through it. But
I should do that actually.
On the flip side of that, occasionally you'll identify a game that you know will grow your stream in terms of numbers, right? But just doing that doesn't necessarily mean that's a good idea. For example, I not that long ago streamed one stream of Five Nights at Freddy's, and my numbers were ridiculous for that stream, really good, right? But it's like all these people came in, and they're not necessarily, they're all new to the community, but they weren't really, obviously, because they're not really a part of the community because they've only just joined. They only stayed for that one stream, and to be honest with you, obviously not all of them, not even most of them, but some of them are kind of a pain, right? Because that's the community that follow that game.
No, I get you.
And it's quite similar, and we were talking about this with Lol Thulu. It didn't used to be, but it isn't kind of now with Undertale. Undertale is a game that if you stream it, you are highly likely to get a lot of follows, but you're highly likely to want to poke your eyes out with a sharp stick afterwards because of the kind of, like, again, generally speaking, the kind of community you get.
Yeah.
So numbers really, for the kind of streamers that I think, well, that definitely I am, but I think that we are, I don't think numbers are necessarily that important. What's more important is the community that you've already got.
Oh,
And basically making sure that they are happy, and the hope that if you do that, more people will come, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I've also a point that I was going to talk to you about earlier, but I've written something down. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm thinking away. I'm thinking away. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, I'm quite. I mean, do you want to go Hippo, or do you want to counterpoint now on what I've just said?
I'm just going to say, so from my vast experience of Twitch, and it's been quite a journey because I've been on it for a while now. My first ever game I streamed was Mafia 2.
Right.
Because it was a game I really liked, but I wanted to show a friend. It was no idea that I wanted to be a streamer or anything like that. So, and then I stopped for 6 months. And then I came on because I found a game on Steam that I really enjoyed. It's called Minion Masters. And it's basically just like, I don't know, you have like cards of minions, you chuck them onto the board, they battle the opposing player, la 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 la. It's fun to play, it's cool. But they had this feature on it which intrigued me, and it was on the like dashboard of the game, I don't know, the main menu kind of thing. It had a little box at the top right, and it said featured streamer. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. What's that about? And no one was on it. And I was like, well, how does that work? And what it did was it would show the person who had the most viewers who were streaming that game directly into the game.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And on my first official night, which was a Sunday night, and I thought, sod it, I'll give it a bash. I launched up the stream. I downloaded OBS because I didn't really have it. I had OBS, but like wasn't set up properly for it. I was doing YouTube at the time and stuff like that.
No, I get you.
World of Warcraft content and bits and bats like that. And so I whipped it up, got my Twitch key in, all that kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. Went on it, and I was featured streamer in the game. I thought, yes, look, I'm famous now, bitches. And and on that first night, I had 40 people turn in.
Oh,
That's
shit.
amazing.
And within the first month, I became Twitch affiliate. And on that first night, Swango, which Mellar knows of Swango, who found me and has basically supported my entire streams since that day. And I still have, because it's grown in a game now. It's definitely still indie, but it's grown in a game. And I did it for about 3 or 4 months of playing this game, and I was really enjoying it. And I did that and like World of Warcraft as a side game and stuff like that, because I'm a huge World of Warcraft fan, been there since like in the first year of it. But but I loved the game. Mini Masters was a lot of fun to play. I was very addicted to it. I liked the fact that when they brought out new cards that you could play on, the new minions you could play with and stuff like that, that you could just like, and it was all buggy and clunky because they were indie and they weren't sure what they were doing, and it was fun, and you could just ridicule them, and then they did all these things, and it was great, and I enjoyed it. And it was a really lovely following, and I was their number one streamer every time I went on it.
Nice.
And I was going up and up and up, and I think I was peaking. I think one night, which was my busiest night, legitimately, because I've been like view botted before, but legitimately, I went up to 180 viewers.
That's very nice.
And it was absolutely wicked. The chat was vibing. I was being a dirty bastard. It was so much fun and all that kind of stuff. And then I dropped Mini Masters because it was the way they were treating their streamers. Which amusingly wasn't me they were treating badly, it was other streamers they were treating badly. Me, they kind of ignored, which was really weird. So what they did on this game, for example, right, they gave you like, and I do apologize, I'm digressing like I told you I would, Dave. So, but they would give like streamer perks and stuff like that, where you could give free keys out and stuff like that, and bits and this, and I never got any of it because I was not content friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a fuck shit bollocks wank person, is who I am. You know, I speak my mind. I'm a dirty bastard. Everyone's a babe. Everyone's a darling. Don't care what gender or whatever affluence you are or whatever. You are always going to be babes and darlings to me because I love you all.
Right.
And that's how I roll. And that is not what I wanted. So they ignored me completely. And I was fine with that. It's fine. I'm a featured streamer. I'm on their page. I don't give a fuck. That's cool. Look at me. Free advertising. Yeah. But other streamers were like getting absolutely shafted on because they started putting criteria. But before they were just like, yeah, have a key, give it away. That'd be great. It's cool. It's only like a couple of quid game, but just give it away. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah. And then they went to, oh yeah, now we're making some money. What we're going to do is you have to hit this bracket as a streamer, and then you get this reward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you can get like, if you average like 20 viewers a stream for this amount of streams and all this kind of stuff, then you can give away 3 keys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they started doing little like buyback schemes and all sorts of random weird things. So like they would reward you almost monetarily to a degree with like in-game credits, so you could buy the better booster packs and stuff like that. It wasn't a pay-to-win game. It was just like you earned coins in the game, and you could buy the coins as well. But it's still random cards, you know. But yeah, they would give you those perks, and me and Swan and a couple were like, "Nah, this is fucking ridiculous. Nah, not doing this now. We're not doing it. We love to play the game, and I still would like to go back to it. On principle, I won't do it. So I went into a phase of like, what do I want to do? Because I was still variety streaming, so I would do like a 3 to 4 game cycle, and I was streaming 6 nights a week when I first started because I was no lifing it because that's how I rolled it. And then I was like, well, I don't know what to do. So I went on to other phases and stuff like that. And then I went into a situation of like, I went into GTA 5 roleplay, which was kind of bizarre. I got invited to it, and I was like, okay, yeah. So me and a mate went on to it and said, yeah, let's play it. And we found this like London simulator style of GTA 5. Right, where you had Americans with Cockney accents, all this kind of stuff, and it was great. It was very much Dick Van Dyke all the way through. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cherise, and all this kind of shit.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, but they changed the entire like world to be like, you know, left drive and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, they did really well on it. And on my night there, it was quiet on a server. It was about maybe half a dozen people on. And I was having a poke around. My friend logged off, and this guy drove up in his lovely car, and he goes, "You're streaming, aren't you?" And I said, "Oh, how do you know?" He goes, "Well, I'm an admin, and I check everybody." And he's like, "I found you on here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he decided to give me like the world tour of his place and stuff like that.
That's sick.
All right. And then I kind of became kind of prominent in that server, and then got a huge new boost of followings and stuff like that. And there is a follow to this story. I do.
There's a point to this, stories. Yeah.
There is definitely points.
There's a climax.
And I really enjoyed it. And then I got to a point where I was getting quite popular in that server and very much liked, but there was also with the whole GTA 5 scene, there's a lot of trolls and stuff like that. And I got N-bombed on stream because I used in-game audio. The guy stream sniped me by N-bombing me up and down the road. And the server admin was like, yeah, you're banned. And it was kind of like protecting me all the time. And bear in mind, I still only average about like, you know, I say only, it's still amazing that I still get these people, but I'm averaging about 9 to 10 viewers on my streams average. So like, but then when I was doing GTA 5, I was doing 30 odd, 40 odd, you know. And they were all like server people as well, of varying different time zones and all this kind of stuff, and it was really cool.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was like, I can't do the end bumming anymore. I can't have you just protecting me. I got on great with it. Turns out, right, the server owner lives like 10 miles away from me as well. I still haven't met him yet, but he's on much to do this to me. All right, he works. He lives in the village I work in. basically.
Oh,
Wow.
wow, okay.
Of all the fucking servers in the world to go for GTA 5, I was like, oh my god, wow, okay, that's cool. So yeah, I still need to hook up with them at some point. But so I dropped out of that, went to a phase of I don't know what to do, then discovered Minecraft, played Minecraft for a bit, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a different game every night, and I did all these different things. But what I found was that even though there is like cultist followings for games, like when I played Final Fantasy VIII on stream or Freelancer on stream and stuff like that, and they had all these hordes of people who love the game and then they vanish. I seem to have been lucky enough to grab one or two special people out of each one.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my points to this: is that you got, as everyone's been saying tonight, is that you got to play games you love. And there have been games that I haven't liked, and there's been games that I love that have failed dismally. But now I don't have much time to play. When I caught COVID in April last year, and I was bedbound for 10 days. I didn't lose my breathing. Mellar knows the situation I went through on it, and knows that I'm still suffering from long COVID today, which is why I took a partial retirement from streaming.
Yeah.
And now come on as and when I feel comfortable enough to do it. Plus, it's fucking hot right now, and I've got a heat lamp in front of me to make me look pretty.
My titties, dude.
My under titties, man. My
I
under
know.
titties. But it's just, and so I did a stream on my birthday, and I did it, which was last week, and then I streamed on the Friday and Saturday, and then thank you, baby. I'm 35. I'm almost dead. I'm that old.
You're fucking sexy for a 35-year-old man.
But yeah, reverting back, I found that I just want to play World of Warcraft. I want to play a game that really makes me happy, and I love World of Warcraft. But I'm playing the classic version of World of Warcraft from back in my youth that I loved so much, not the modern retail stuff, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So I'll plonk on the stream.
It came out when you were 18.
Yeah, in my youth. In my youth. I was homeless at the time when it first came out anyway, so that was kind of fun having to play it while on somebody's sofa. Yeah.
Play it on the library's PC.
I was on Windows 98, motherfucker. All right, leave me alone. I couldn't afford XP and Windows 7 and all that shit.
The library. It's like, oh, here's my library card. Just playing WoW.
Yes. Yeah, so I've not come for a book. Fuck you, I've come to play WoW. But I play WoW, and my community don't care really what game I play. They just want to hang out and have a laugh and listen to me be a pervert and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I truly appreciate. Yes. So Mellar knows that when he comes into my stream, I'm going to babes and darling the shit out of him because I love him to bits, and he knows I love him to bits.
And I love it.
Everybody in the community loves Mellar as well because I've groomed them to like him. And I said everyone needs a token ginger in their life. You know what I mean? It's that kind of situation.
Just call me token. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to tick that box off. I got a ginger. I got an Australian now. I'm doing really well. I've got to catch them all. Streamathon.
You get a Scottish one.
I am. So then I think that the key thing is to take away from is that don't be disheartened if you're going to play a game that has a huge cult following. If you've got a decent personality and you're a very likable person, which most people can be in smaller circles, in smaller communities, because you have to build up relationship with people anyway to become a bigger, better streamer. More emphasis on the better than the bigger, unless you're eating a lot of things. But no, you're gorgeous, baby. All right, it's okay. But you will pull the people through from varying games. I have got people from when I played RuneScape for a week. I've got people from Minion Masters. I've got people from Final Fantasy, from Freelancer that still pop in. And all that kind of stuff, you know, and I think that's the key thing to take away and to fully appreciate when variety streaming is that you can just play what you want to play, and you will find someone.
Sorry,
I was just going to sort of. I think you kind of came to the point that I was trying to make and didn't really succeed in that. Like, especially if what you're looking for is all of the things, a little bit of growth and all this, is play a game that you know you're going to enjoy. Because then people are going to be drawn to you. They might come for the game, but hopefully they will stay for you. And that's how you build a community. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Deck.
I was going to say, it really is heartwarming and wholesome. Like when somebody comes for like you said, for RuneScape for a week, and then they come back for like, GTA roleplay. And it's like, this is two completely different things. Yeah. But you still come by the scene. Like I've definitely known people that are like that. It's like, I've definitely met people from all over the gaff, and they come, they come back for like a game that's like nothing like the game that you come to watching. It's like this is exactly. They come in and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just here to like hang out and see how you are. That sort of thing. It's like those people make Twitch. The same, like even lurkers.
Absolutely.
Don't ever. It's that I detest people who like, oh, who's in the stream today? Oh yeah, so how are you? This person, that person, the next person. Don't call out your lurkers.
Oh, calling out
They-
lurkers really
they're-
gets me. It's so rude.
yeah,
And I actually had a bit of a thing recently because you know this you've seen me, I used to use this. You know the little Pokemon at the bottom of the screen. Stream?
yeah.
It's called stream avatars.
No, I get you.
If you set it up in a certain way, then the avatar will appear as soon as you enter chat, rather like as soon as you in the stream, before you've said anything. It's so annoying. Like I hate it. Like if I see anyone with that, and I before I've actually said anything on chat, and my name pops up, I'll just leave straight away. Because I'm like, what? You know, I don't really want to talk.
Well, so I might sit here and speak for like 6 hours at a time. It's like,
yeah,
I'm the most like, I don't know what to say in someone's chat. I have no idea what to say in someone's chat, and it's like, normally, you know, I'm always working on something that I said before. I'm always working on, you know, trying to change something or fix something in OBS, or, you know, just try and set up a layout sort of thing. Because I mean, I know a lot of people buy their sort of setups, like, you know, like, oh, this whole transition stuff. I do a lot of my own stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm always tweaking stuff. So it's like if I've got Twitch up, I'm always lurking somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, Sukonami, how you doing, my dude? It's like, I tend to leave this one. I'm not here for that at the moment.
Yeah, no,
I'm just busy.
That's not okay.
Or it's or I really enjoy somebody's stream and I'll follow them, and it's like I come back and it's like, oh yeah, I know you, like you were here, like you're looking the other day. It's like, yeah, but you don't need to you don't need to call me out for it. It's like I'm just here to chill, you know.
Yeah,
I do find that highly communicative streamers though are mainly lurkers in their off
exactly.
time,
No,
yeah.
I absolutely love interactive chat. Like, I try my best. Like, you know, if someone in chat will have a conversation with you. You know, if you want to have a conversation, I'll have a conversation. Like, it's more about anything.
Exactly what they're for.
But if we're gonna, you know, if someone's just here just to enjoy it, I think I've had people where it's like, I'm trying to think it was Dark Souls. I remember the person was called Chuck. I remember that. They came in and we're talking about you know how long people like. Another person I know, Billy, he was like, "Oh, you know, the followers command." It's like, "Oh, I've been here for like, you know, 3 years. This amount of time." And this person, Chuck, and I was like, "Oh, you know, how are you doing?" Sort of thing. Like, I didn't sort of recognize him. Obviously, they were a lurker. And at the same time, it's like, "Are you 4 years?" Like, but I don't know who you are. How have I, you know, how have you got 4 years here? But it's like someone. It's like, yeah, I just sit and lurk a lot, and it's like that's the first time that I've seen them speak in my chat, and it's like.
Yeah. I think that's amazing though. Like, lurkers are really important. It's amazing to have people, you know, obviously chatting with you, because that's one of the main reasons why you kind of do it, is to obviously have that interaction. But lurkers are so important, obviously, and the point is that even though you know they're lurking, but they're still enjoying your stream, and that's the whole point. That's the reason why you're there, right? But it is so nice when someone who's been lurking for such a long time, they suddenly, you know, feel confident enough to speak up and be like, oh, how's it going? You know, nice to finally like actually kind of meet you properly after watching you have all this fun for so long, and bringing me that fun as well. It's so nice. I've seen it before in other people's chat that I've modded for, and it's lovely when it happens. That kind of thing, isn't it? Because it's like you've supported me
all
all
I need is
time.
one of them just to, when they come in first time, just to say, I'm not a bot, but I'm going to lurk for the next 8 years. Is that okay? I'll be like, okay, I know now. That's cool. You're not that random thing that's going to put me in a lottery to get your boosts and stuff.
Boost your commander route and all that.
Because there are people in there, and I'm like, are you a bot? I don't know.
For a while,
Someone's
I was like, those
me.
bots, and I'm like, I'm just gonna ban them. Well, I don't care about your raffles and stuff. I see, like for a long time I was like, who is this like commander route person? And I was like,
it's like,
he
was a pain.
You know what I mean? It's like, he's always live, and it's always just a you know, some kind of like code. Like, what am I looking at, and how are you here? Like, ban, you know?
Yeah.
No, the commander route can do some really useful stuff though. Like if you get follow botted, then commander route can undo it.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I might have to unban commander route.
Yeah, it might be worth unbanning it. So there's a lot of people that use it as well. You can actually like, I've never done this, but you can actually request it hosts you.
Oh.
And then obviously there's a lot of people that might be on that channel. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's actually a tool that It's supposed to be there for people. I think a lot of people don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. I've just seen someone use it.
I always just assumed it was like some kind of like scheme where they're trying to get you to like
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
whatever.
raffling thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And such, yeah.
It's like I remember going to that chat and it was just F for F, F for F, F for F.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all the time.
But I think those are the users that are doing that.
no, exactly. Yeah.
I don't really know a huge amount about it, but I do know that it has some use. But there you go.
Might be worth looking into it then.
Maybe.
I went through a phase in, I think maybe it was like 2019, where I was going into these bots' rooms, and you can see in their description is like, "Oh, you don't want me in your room anymore? Type this command in your chat, and I'll go away." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to do this a dozen times." Jesus, they don't come in as much anymore, or they're maybe just lurkers. I don't know. I apologize, lurkers who are sitting in my host at the moment.
I think that will do for section 2. Have we got anything else that we want to say on the topic of what should I stream before we move on?
Was that the topic?
Yeah, it was a good one.
I wanted to talk about certain games. So you're obviously people. You're saying that certain games did better, like Minion Masters and when you played RuneScape. But I found, like even you said yourself, Mellar, that Five Nights at Freddy's, like it boosted straight away. But it's like the people weren't really there for that. Doki Doki Literature Club was the one for me.
See, I really enjoyed
played that.
streaming.
I played that game and I had like 30 to 40 people. I was like, what? Why is there so many people here? And one of like the best streams I've had, but it's like, are these people gonna come back? Like realistically, you're just here for this one game and that's it. There's a lot of games
because
that
I don't feel like I had that experience with Doki Doki Literature Club. Maybe I did and I didn't perceive it.
See, I had to stop playing it.
Yeah.
Because I did the first playthrough.
Yeah.
As one does.
I did 9 hours of that game.
But
in one sitting.
But I kind of stopped out of for my community mainly because I have a few very sensitive people, and I was like, I've got to stop
I totally
this.
understand that.
And to be fair, I got really tired of reading out loud as well. Like, this is doing my tits in, and then the happy chirpy music, it just did my tits in as well.
The one thing that I did find with
listen to Slipknot, will you leave me alone?
The one thing I did find with Doki Doki, because of the type of game it is, I did have like I think it was like !DDLC, and it was like this like disclaimer. It was like, oh, if you if you suffer from depression, then I understand if you step away. And Mori was practically spamming it at times because you know what it's like.
The game's dark. The game, like for being like a whole cheery, funny adventure about poetry, it's like it's not.
It's really not.
It's not.
It's a psychological horror game at the end.
The game's like that for maybe an hour or two, and then you just get into like people are doing some dark shit to each other.
The thing is, I've never played a dating sim, but as far as I understand, if you play it from face value as a dating sim, it's actually not a very good one, as far as I'm aware.
I did a charity event with another streamer, another group of streamers, and that's when I played Doki Doki Literature Club. But it was part of like a waifu week I did. I played a whole bunch of like waifu games.
But it's not really a waifu game. That's the thing.
No, it's not. It's like it was pretty much like I was wanting something that was like a waifu sort of dating sim sort of thing. I was like, I played that, and I was like, holy shit, this is dark as fuck. And then the next day I went, yeah, let's play KFC game instead. Like that's a bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
No, exactly.
I think there's also certain games that you have to. Sorry, Mel. So that you have to hit as a streamer as well. Like the Doki Doki seems to be the like I think 90% of the streamers I know have been pushed to play it.
That's interesting
because I
don't feel like
there's certain games.
Undertale was another one that
I'm not touching Undertale. At least not at the moment.
I played Undertale early on. Like that was 2017, and I cried playing.
But I think there's like some weird criteria. Like there's like, oh, you're now going to play this, and I'm like, oh, really? And yeah, well, everyone else is playing it. Like Among Us, I still haven't streamed Among Us, but I don't have a big enough. The thing is, right, I could get my community to play with me, but like then I'll have no one watching, and that'll just
bought Among Us. I played it once on stream, and that was it. I played the game once.
So that seems to be another criteria game. Like when Fortnite was before Fortnite, the shooty everywhere thing, and it was the 4-player co-op survival build tower thing. Save the World before they got rid of it and then kind of brought it back, but didn't. That was a big thing back in the day that everyone had to play at least once. The Cyberpunk thing was a big game that everyone seemed to do. Anthem was a big game that people needed to do. And it seems to be like certain game criteria that you go through in your Twitch career. That's you kind of go, okay, oh, it's my turn to do this game now.
I think
Okay,
it's
I'll do it.
important though, especially as what we've just been talking about. Is in actual fact you don't have to do any of this shit.
No, you don't.
You
no.
do what you like.
No, but I think it's like as a streamer, sometimes there are games you think, yeah, I want to play it, and it is like the meta stream game that you do.
Oh yeah, I
And
definitely think that
yeah.
sometimes you like even if you're deciding on your own what games you want to play, sometimes it will fall into the meta, like like, just by coincidence.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny we're talking about this. This is one of the points I was like, when Mellar was like, hey, what do you want to talk about on the podcast? I was like, well, there's something I want to talk about. And it just come up back to me there where it's like, you're on about how people are like, oh, yeah, you need to play this game. You need to play that game. It's like, is there a game for either of you chaps that everyone's like, it's a big staple in gaming. It's like, oh, you should be playing this game. You should play that game. And you just haven't. And people are like, oh, why not played this? You know, it's such like, that is like a required game. Like, playing a Zelda game, it's like, oh, you have to play this, or you have to play that, or you have to play the next thing. I suppose like Breath of the Wild, for instance, for you would be one of those things where like, oh, you have to play this, but you haven't done it, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say Breath of the Wild because I'm a massive Zelda fan, but I've never played Breath of the Wild because I don't have a Switch, and that even for me blows my mind. It's like, Mellar, how have you not played this game? And it's been out for like what 4 years or something?
No, exactly, yeah.
It just the fact that I haven't played it just
it's 4 years. It's still full price.
Yeah, it's still full price. And I will get to it. Like one day, it is inevitable, unless I literally die before I play it.
I will play it. But you were to say tomorrow. Like, I hope not.
Yeah. Well, I say because I'm not buying it tomorrow. But you get the idea that unless I somehow just die young, and I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play
exactly,
it.
Yeah. You should buy it and then just not buy the Switch. Just have it on your just have it there. It's like eventually I'll play it.
I'll just sit there with a disc doing that. And say, technically, I'm playing with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, exactly. What were you, Hippo? What were you?
There was only ever one game that I was nagged to play continuously, and I was adamant not to do it for such a long time because I absolutely hated it. But I actually succumbed to it, and when I succumbed to it, I hated it. And then I kind of succumbed to it again a second time round about a year later, and now I kind of make YouTube content on it.
Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft. Yeah.
All right.
I hated Minecraft for the longest time because as a sandbox game, and I like sandbox style games like the Valheims and all that kind of stuff, I looked at it and I hate square symmetry things. I absolutely hate it. I like odd things that don't work and really annoy the the OCDers and stuff like that. Thank you. And anyone who's got OCD and stuff like that would hate my channel because I will quite happily have things slightly tilted to a degree. Not when it comes to my actual stream aesthetics. That has to be pristine, but like in games, I like jaunty and messed up things and stuff like that. And, and then you look at the blockiest game on the planet with the blockiest characters that just do arm movements like this, and I'm like, I hate this. And now I have a single player world that I was doing content for a while, and I hate that word. But like, yeah, I just and I had this like epiphany, like. You can make whatever you want in a sandbox game? I was like, yeah, oh my God, you can. I already know that, but why did I just come to realize this now? And now I do grander scale things and stuff like that. Like, I'm not good. I'm not I'm bragging or anything, but like, I went on a community server with one of my viewers. They invite me to their server that they kind of moderate, and they said they were setting up a Hippo Nation area so that the Hipponeers can come and play and do stuff together on this server because I wasn't going to pay for a server. I'm cheap as fuck. Oddly enough, I pay for 2 servers that I don't play on. And then they were building this kind of like Asian architecture tower and sort of stuff like that. And they said, oh, we need somewhere to put the sheep. And I said, oh, it'd be really funny if we had an ark. And then they said, well, make an ark. So I made an ark, and I was really proud of my ark. And it was huge. It was a really big ark, and it had all the sheep pens. And it was all in survival. The community were building my trees up, or growing my trees and chopping them down and bringing me the wood. And I'm like, I'm fucking placing this shit here. I'm like a pro. Look at me go. And it was really cool. And they lived in it for a while. And then I made a gigantic tree, which went up to build height, and I made all the plumage and all that kind of stuff on it.
Good words. Good
plumage.
Words.
Yes. I love plumage. But yeah, again, what we did was we did a hollow outside. We hollowed the tree, and inside they were growing the trees, chopping them down, and then like shearing off the leaves and all that kind of stuff, and then bringing them up to me. And I was placing it all, and I made this gigantic tree and all this kind of stuff. And Then I started making random things. Like I made, have I got him here somewhere? I've got like a fake Lego Yoshi with a Mario on it. Like, you know, I call them Flego, because they're fake Lego. Like the things you get off Wish and shit like that, right? And I made a big Yoshi, and I made a base inside of him, because he has a little Mario on the back as well. So that was like the hotel suite and the honeymoon suite inside it. And then somebody decided, because I don't know how to do redstone, I still don't know how to do redstone, decided to make an anal insertion entrance. So you press the button, his ass opens up, and you get like slime blocked into his ass.
Fisted.
Yeah, it was great. I can see you, creeper. Yeah, but that was a game that but the first time I succumbed to it, and I was just being like, I was being bullied on my first time playing it. It was really weird. Like my viewers invited me to this another server that they owned, and then they were just like creeper spawning me and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even know what a creeper is. What the shit is this? I don't get it. I was like, I hate this. This is poo. And then I came back a year later and I kind of enjoyed it. But that's the only game that I was ever forced to play or made to feel like I should have to play. And yeah, eventually I enjoyed it. But there's been nothing else really. There's been odd little bits here and there, like maybe you should give this a go, or I've bought this and give that a go. I mean, Cameron bought me a game last week and said, please play this for me. And I was like, yeah, I'll happily play that for you. Those are exceptions to the rules, though. There's still people that I get that come in and go, would you like to try this game out? I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then I did a thing with Virtue, with a game that came out.
Yesterday, wasn't it?
What was that game?
I can't remember, because we were playing together, didn't we? And I can't remember what it was called now. It was
Monstrum 2. That's
Monstrum 2.
It's Monstrum 2. That's right.
And he brought us in and stuff like that, and that was a really good night. You know?
Yeah, that was fun. That was
First, a lovely bloke.
There was like five players, wasn't there? All streamers, but one of them didn't stream, did it? So there was like 4 streamers on the go at the same time. It was brilliant. That was a proper like.
I think we've had all of them on now, haven't we?
Shit. Yeah, apart from Calico.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, that's incredible. Alert. Yeah.
But no, it's just that kind of thing I don't mind doing. But like being like kind of the only one I really succumbed to was Minecraft. Yeah.
No, I get you. I think at this point, with owning as many games as I do, there's so many games I haven't played, and people are like, "Have you got all these not played it?" You know?
Yeah.
Zelda was one for me. Like, I never played a Zelda game until I played Link to the Past like this year. Mass Effect 3. People want me to finish Mass Effect 3. I determined not to, because like, I know it's like I don't see why I should play the game that's notoriously bad at the end to like enjoy the entire game and then just be the last 10 minutes be like, oh, okay.
I suppose it depends what's more important, whether it's the journey or the destination.
Yeah, it sort of worries me the fact that I think I don't want to enjoy the journey so much that at the end it's like, oh, well, it's kind of ruined this for me now, you know?
I think
there's also a validation as well with of similar feelings towards an attitude of a game and stuff like that. When you see like a bad thing happen, does this streamer who I like and get on with, is he going to feel the same as I do, or would that bounce off a conversation of why they actually enjoyed that ending compared to others and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I would love to finish Mass Effect 3. I just haven't grown to that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you never know, you might like it. But I think also I mean, obviously this is my opinion, but the nature of a video game is that it's pretty much all about the journey and very little about the destination, because the whole point of the game is to enjoy playing it, which is the journey. So I don't know, maybe you should try it, and maybe you might like it, especially if you like the first 2. I'm not saying that you should.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Exactly. And
if anything, it completes it as well for you, doesn't it? You're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. You're
done
off.
You get that closure.
Yes.
No, I definitely like. Another one would have been. I'm not playing a single Metal Gear Solid game. I would love to. It's just not on there.
Metal Gear Solid 1 was amazing.
I really enjoyed 4.
Like, I played. The thing is, I grew up with. You can probably tell I grew up with a lot of Xbox games. But it's like now that I have the PS5, I'm going back and playing all the the PlayStation games that I never played before.
That's
like,
a good idea.
Even though it's not like back and pat for them, like I play them on. I never emulate. That's why I have so many games that I try to like get all the games physically or in a certain media that it's like available. Like I played all the Silent Hill games. This is a series I never played before. I love them. I love the Silent Hill games. I have them all physically behind me. I played through. I'm trying to think what else I did that I was told like, hey, like why haven't I done this sort of thing, and I ended up loving it. Like this is like Final Fantasy in general. And the only Final Fantasy that I always knew growing up I wanted to get a Final Fantasy. I just didn't know which one it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people sort of impact you when it comes to like, you should play this one, you should play that one. My first one, to your dismay, Mellar, was Final Fantasy 13-3, Lightning Returns. I didn't finish it. I got about I got halfway through, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on, because at the time I had no idea. You know, I was on the case to my benefit. It just says 13. It doesn't say 13-3.
Is it not?
No, doesn't say. It just says Lightning Returns. It's like, well, I guess that it's for someone that was like 14-year-old deck. It's like, well, I guess this is going to be like, I guess she must have left in 12 or something like that. I don't know. This is 13. And then I played a little 15, and I thought 15 was okay. I wanted to continue on with it, but I never did. And then I eventually settled and got into the series at 7, and I want to get into more, you know.
Yeah.
7 remakes sort of really made it happen, and set the original 7, I loved it, and I think going back to, you know, enjoying the games like that, it's all about it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other. I never really sort of played out.
Speaking of 7, have you ever watched Advent Children?
Oh, that is a fantastic movie.
Oh, please let me talk about this. Oh, so, I have like the most wholesome memory of Advent Children, where it was the night I finished. So we all got together, and I finished the original 7 on stream. Everyone was there. We beat Sephiroth. We're all cheering. We're all, you know, happy. And then about an hour later, after the stream, we all hop in Discord. There's like maybe 8 of us, 9 of us watching Advent Children. And the one thing that'll stick out to me is, I don't know if anyone. Oh, I assume you've seen Advent Children.
Yeah.
There's a moment right at the end where obviously Cloud's fighting Sephiroth, and, you know, he jumps up to Omni Slash him, and as he jumps up, my friend just shouted, he went, "Limit break!" and just starts, you know, Cloud just starts slashing him up, and I was like, I've just, you know, it's happened, you know. I think it's one of those things where as soon as there's so many things out there that you don't know you enjoy. Yeah. It's like, I started watching Dragon Ball, for instance. I watched all of Z from November last year till April this year in the community, like with the community, and I never knew I liked Dragon Ball. But it's one of those things where it's like the same with Final Fantasy. I never knew that I liked 7 as much as I did. I never knew I liked Dragon Ball as much as I did. But it became such big parts of my life, even though it's quite recently. Like, people grew up with that. It's like there's so much stuff that impacts you or that you connect with. You just don't know you enjoy it yet because you haven't, you know, given it a chance. I definitely get that a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's like playing games. You never know what you're gonna love. Like, I could really love MGS, but I just never did it. I may really love Devil May Cry. I played one. I played MGS for Devil May Cry 5, and that's it.
Fair enough.
Oh, I remember the first one coming out. Oh my god.
I've got a story about Advent Children. Actually, funny enough.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Because me and my mate watched it on DVD, and it's one of the ones where we always used to watch them with subbed. We used to prefer subs, but we were like, we liked it so much. We were like, should we watch it dubbed just to see what's different? Right. So we sat down and we watched it. But this was the day that the Eurovision was on.
Okay.
Right? And this was the year that Lordi was in it. You know, Hard Rock Hallelujah, right? And we thought this was hilarious because we were like, we're metalheads, and, you know, obviously normally Eurovision is just, you know, Europop crap, basically, or at least to someone who likes metal.
Well, I get you.
And we thought that Lordi was like the best thing ever. So we literally we watched them play their song, which was quite near the beginning of the show, and we were like, they're never gonna win. Like, there's no way in hell that they're gonna get like any points whatsoever. So we started watching Advent Children, and then we got like an hour into Advent Children, and we're like, well, we wonder how they're doing. And we flipped over, and they were winning, and we were like, well, what the fuck is this? And we literally ended up just watching the rest of the Eurovision, and we went mad when they won. They were just like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And then after it was all over, we went back and finished watching Advent Children. It was a great day.
That's such a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Oh,
what a ridiculous story.
It's always great when you have like great memories attached to certain things that it sticks out more for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that a lot.
And those two things will always be intrinsically linked in my mind: Hard Rock Hallelujah and Advent Children.
Advent Children. Well, I mean, the rendition that they have of One Winged Angel when Sephiroth comes up.
Oh,
that's
it's
pretty
beautiful,
like,
isn't it?
It's pretty metal.
Especially like when it happens and what's happening, and it just makes your skin
it just
sort
gives
of,
you
all your hairs go standing on end, don't they? And you get,
I know,
amazing.
Oh,
I can't believe we've talked for so long.
I know. I have a problem where I just sort of I talk and talk and talk. I never stops.
You maybe should consider streaming.
I might do that. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I have the qualifications for that sort of stuff. I don't
Do you know what? I think you start with a game you like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Try
Fortnite. Fortnite's a good one.
I fucking love Fortnite. I'm so good at it.
You've seen the type, yeah.
Wait. Are we still doing like the Kappa face, or are you actually good at Fortnite?
Oh no.
Oh, thank God.
Pro gamer, pew pew, motherfucker.
I'm terrible at Fortnite. I played Fortnite with my friends back when it like first started to be like, but back when Save the World was a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. And then like the Battle Royale, I was like, I'm not any good at Battle Royale. I don't like it.
No.
I'm not a giant fan of Battle Royales.
No.
So it's like,
I like quirky ones, like Realm Royale was a fun one.
I'm not even a fan particularly of that, although it is kind of fun when you turn into a chicken.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. And then like the quirky, like superhero ability-esque things they went and all that kind of stuff, where you could fly around a little bit and stuff.
Yeah. Shall we move on to section 3 then?
Yeah. So I was like,
we haven't done section 2 yet. What are you on about?
No, section 2 is...
Chattisfying.